Back in November, we dyno-tuned the Ford AU Fairmont Turbo and hit a respectable 250 kilowatts at the hubs on just 10 pounds of boost. But then there was radio silence and you've heard nothing ever since. Why? Well, it turns out the gearbox was completely cooked. On its last legs, in fact, leaving me no choice but to bite the bullet and order a new gearbox and a 2500 RPM stall converter. And finally, it's here. Welcome everyone to my $6,500 built BTR. You're watching MotoringBox, proudly supported by Century Batteries. Now that is a lot to spend on a transmission, but when you see what this thing can do, how it shifts, you will understand why. And I've come to learn with this project that the poor man pays twice. So you could have just got a stock rebuilt BTR, but how long is it going to last before you need to buy another one? So that is why I just bit the bullet and went for a built BTR. It's just a shame that nobody in Queensland offers one. So I went to T&D Brothers in Sydney, built this one for me, freighted it up, and I got a workshop to slot it in. This thing, I've had to dial in the shifts on it because I've got the Haltech, I've got the AU ECU controlling the shifts. There's been some issues with it controlling the shifts on power, so I've been emulating a throttle position sensor and I'm emulating a map position sensor, feeding that AU ECU particular data to try and get it to shift properly. And I've nearly got it at a spot where I'm happy with it. So we'll pull up here. I can't get too rowdy with this because we're on a public road, but let's just floor it away from the standstill, shall we? Now, feel that shift a second, very crisp. We have none of that flaring problem that we had in the past. And yeah, it is 70 here, so we can't go much faster, unfortunately. So we will need to get this car back to the drags. I can't go to the next one at Willowbank, so it's probably gonna be a couple of months, maybe at the All Ford Day in June or July. But yeah, this trans, my God, it is so good. And yeah, it is sad, you know, all of the workshops, the transmission builders I called here in Queensland pretty much laughed me off the phone when I was after a built BTR. They weren't really interested, and a few of them were like, oh, I can build you a stock one. But yeah, no one is doing, you know, a strengthened, uprated BTR. The details of this one, T&D Brothers in Sydney made it. They seem a little bit cagey with giving up details on how they build them, but I can fully understand, you know, if you've put in the research, the development to build a BTR to handle high horsepower, they got some cars doing 9 or 10 second quarter mile passes with these boxes. I wouldn't be giving up the details either. That's your secret special sauce. Don't give that to anyone. So it was a bit of a gamble, wiring that much money for a trans and from someone you've never met and then having it freighted, but my God. This thing, it's pretty savage. But luckily, I've been able to dial it back in such a way that day-to-day cruising, it's still fairly smooth. Like it's a little bit firmer than stock, but it's really livable. And yeah, it just means that this car is shifting amazingly. And as you just saw, you know, just putting the throttle down, not even stalling it up, it takes off thanks to that stall converter. Another thing I can tell you about, right? We're emulating throttle position. Why are we doing that? Well, I'm tricking the AU ECU to not kick down. If we're in second, we're doing about 40 k's an hour. Ordinarily, on a stock tune, if you floored it, it'd dump you back to first and then you'd go, right? And that's fine on an NA car. But turbocharged, you don't want it. So what I've done, at low RPM, I've got it sending a signal to the AU ECU, and it basically means that the AU ECU is not seeing any more than half throttle when you're in those low RPM regions. When you go up to around sort of 3.5, it gradually brings the signal up to 100%. So the AU ECU kind of sees it as you've done half throttle and then you're gradually ramping up to 100. So it keeps the shift points nice and high because the percentage is increasing. But let me show you, right? Second gear, 30 kilometers an hour. If I floor it ordinarily, it would kick back. Now, hold second. So obviously, you know, at low RPM, it does take a while for the turbo to come on song, but it just means you're not getting those surprise kickbacks or kickdowns, I guess you'd call it. So that is cool. Another thing I've done, which is I'm particularly proud of, is I've come up with a sort of ghetto rolling anti-lag, and I came up with this on a mate's AU turbo that we were tuning with the Haltech. We're like, what if we could set up a rolling anti-lag? It's like, I reckon I can do it. Hold a button, it'll retard the timing, it'll put a little bit of extra fuel in it, and then when you let it go, all the timing rushes back. And because you have got the timing retarded, it's going to be sitting there building boost, but not gaining much speed. So yeah, pretty much a rolling anti-lag, right? So if we cruise along down here, into second, we're doing about 60 k's an hour. If I hold the button and then put the foot down. See that? That is what I'm talking about. Yeah, the speed kind of holds constant, but you just see the boost flying up, and then as soon as you let go, it just takes off. It's pretty cool, and it just means, you know, if you're looking to really get on it, if you're doing like roll racing or something like that, you could just hold the button, floor it, spool it up, and as soon as you let go, you're off. And yeah, if it keeps raining, it's going to highlight another issue, probably the final issue this car has, and that is the open diff. So we're going to need a true track or a locking diff of some sort, some kind of LSD. I don't want to weld it or, you know, go for a spool or something. I want to keep the daily driven aspect of it. But yeah, that's going to be the next thing. So yeah, I think the $2.5 grand stall is nice. You know, a 3 or a 3.5 would have been way more savage, but for a street car, kind of this mild turbo build, I think it suits it. And yeah, here we go, 50 k's an hour, full throttle. That was 10 pounds of boost, which is pretty much what this thing's set to on the boost controller. Yeah, really cool. And it just goes to show, you know, even with the basic Haltech 750, which officially doesn't have a rolling anti-lag feature, you can sort of ghetto set one up and do it yourself. Another thing I discovered, and I know I've been talking a lot about this gearbox, another thing I discovered is that the lock-up torque converter on my old box was not locking up. I thought it may have been seamless in such a way that I didn't notice it, but if I pop it into third, once you get to about 60, you hear the rev drop there, lock up, it works. That gearbox, to be honest, is a game changer. Luckily, it's not so savage that, you know, it's unbearable day to day, but the way I've got it set at the moment, and I'm still refining those emulated, you know, signals that I'm sending to the AU ECU, it's just getting better and better every day. So the rain is coming down now. I'm going to sign off here. Quick little update on the AU Turbo. There is going to be more content coming out on this car. I really apologise for the sort of gap that there's been between the dynoing and seeing this thing on the street, but that old gearbox, that worn BTR, there was just nothing I could do to fix it. Line pressure adjustments, fluid and filter changes, nothing brought it back. It was just cooked and it couldn't handle it. All that fancy stuff that I devised, like pulling the timing and cutting spark on the shift to try and save it, it was helping, but it was just a band-aid solution. With this new one, you can just get rid of that torque reduction, get rid of the ignition, pulling the spark, I should say. Just do it on full song, full boost, it just shifts like a freaking shotgun. It is crazy. So if you want one of these transmissions, do reach out to T&D Brothers in Sydney. They've been fantastic to deal with. It was about a month or a month and a half turnaround time. Pretty quick, really. They supplied the box. You'll pay extra for that, obviously. But yeah, look, awesome guys to deal with. Again, I do not know what they do to these transmissions, but I don't want to know. All I need to know is that it just works amazing. And as quick as you want to turn it up and shift as hard as you want, it'll do it. Geez, I tell you what, it'll do it. And as you can see, day to day, it's still pretty good too. So hit them up if you're interested. If you've got any questions that I can answer, put them in the comment section below. Otherwise, smash that like button, sub if you want to see more content. And I'll catch you in the next one.